put some, I guess I should flip the camera around so you can see me. Hold on, I'm gonna be janky. Okay, hold on. Power. Otherwise, we will be. Yes, I know the lighting is horrible. Let me start driving. Hello, everybody. The camera's over there, over on that way instead of there. I should probably flip. Nope, I won't flip because we already started, and then I'll have to start back over. So we are driving. We're doing our driving. We haven't done this in a while, so you're going with me to pick up a food box for my neighbor, and then I'm like literally. We have to get past these Detroit potholes, and okay. So I took a break. I took a thing while we were. My car has to get away from my house in order for me to finish, so it has to reconnect to my cell phone service. So that's why that pause was there. And one more big bump. I always know where my bumps are. Those unavoidable bumps. Okay, so I went last weekend. Well, this weekend. The last weekend in April to what's called the IRAE, which is the Interracial Authors Expo. This was their 7th year. I was going to go in 2019, but I had a conflicted schedule. If you don't know my writing, I write romance suspense. I probably should introduce myself for people who don't know me. I am Sylvia Hubbard, author of over 50 romance suspense novels, and also founder of Motown Writers Network. And I do write interracial romance. I've been writing it maybe since about, I'd say 2005, 2006, probably earlier than that. It's always just been okay with whatever mood I am in when I'm writing, what gets the job done in terms of suspense, tension in the story, and plot. So I always wanted to go to like small subgenre conferences, because I feel that you do much better than at big conferences, especially when you're not, of course, an A-list author. So I try to feed on small conferences, and especially with small niche subjects, because then you know that the readers that are going to those are the readers that want to read your books. So that's why I always wanted to go here. And so I finally put my foot out there and said, hey, can I come? And they was like, come on. And then that was in 2019. I had a conflicting schedule, and so it ended up that I couldn't come until 2020, and you know what happened then. So it all got pushed back, and then I ended up coming in 2021 when the world kind of opened back up a little bit again, or in Florida's case, it really never closed. And that's where the conference was in Florida, in Daytona Beach. And I'm gonna say, from my overall experience to start off with, I had an amazing time, and we're gonna go into the details. So I even took notes. I was like, let me take notes, because Tana was like, how was it? How was your experience? And I said, I had to get up, and I actually had to let her know how it was. So that is what I'm going to be doing. So in terms of starting it off, traveling, me and my husband and I both went, and we of course masked all the way there. from the time we got to the airport till the time we finally got into our hotel room. We rode Delta Comfort Plus, and by then they're selling the middle aisle. So people were really nice enough to move over for us because we couldn't buy the middle aisle at that time. And so, people were really nice to move over. So that was the safety issue. When we got to the whole airport, actually, I had carried 75 books with me. And that's because I didn't feel like emptying out my book bag, because like literally that bag had been packed since last year, and I was not about to touch that book bag again. All my events got canceled last year, so I pretty much just set this bag by the door and left it there. And then it was time to go on the trip. I was like, okay, we're just gonna take whatever is in that bag, and that's what I did. So it was about 75 books in there. We got to the airport. I did have to pay, in case you're wondering, I did have to pay $30 because of the weight of the books. If you're asking questions, I don't think I can see it here, or if you did ask questions, but give me a thumbs up if you are listening and you can hear me. So I did have to pay $30 for that, and I went ahead and paid for it, whatever, hoping that I could get my money back, because you go to these conferences with the idea of I hope I sell. So I was like, okay, fine, it's tax deductible, let's go. We got on the plane, everybody moved over, so yeah, we were pretty safe. Both of my husband and I both got vaccinated, because actually he is high risk, and of course I'm high risk because of my pneumonia issues that keep coming back, my walking pneumonia issues. So we went and got vaccinated, which worked out perfectly that Detroit, opened up for all vaccinations before we went out on the trip. So after that, we got to the hotel. Now, they had an author day. We got there on a Thursday. They had actually an author networking thing and author panels just for authors, where they talked about writing, marketing, and publishing and everything like that. Unfortunately, we didn't get there till the afternoon, and she added these panels actually late. Once the world opened up, she was like, okay, we're changing it and we're adding author panels this year. So we didn't get there until then. But Olivia Gaines, who is an author, and she is like the most amazing person ever. You should follow her. She also has these teachable videos about promotions and marketing as well. So she actually gave me her marketing packet, which was amazing, and she taught the marketing portion of it. So I was happy about that. And but I missed the author panel. But that night they had kind of like a meet and greet. When I tell you, I felt really safe in terms of, with this pandemic, you get a little kind of iffy, like, okay, whether you've been vaccinated or not, I'm still not taking a chance, because you still can get it, and you don't want to be sick. Like you have things to do. You don't have time to be sick, even just a little bit. And coming from somebody who constantly has migraines, the last thing I need is to be sick. So it was kind of cool being there. They constantly sanitized everything, and it was held in a hotel, so it was constantly being sanitized and everything like that. That's just in case you're trying to do a literary event or trying to do an event this year. Just that peace of mind that they had extra masks, extra hand sanitizer, gloves, and wipes and everything. That was kind of cool. Now, they had reader gifts, and it was so much fun seeing people win things and everything. So that was kind of cool. I'm going to check my notes. I know, riding and driving, reading and driving is bad. Okay, so let me see. So it was a slew of authors, and when I write my blog post, I'm gonna acknowledge them and everything. But it was a slew of authors who had come, and then readers, it was just wonderful to see readers come out and come together, and it was really like fam. It was kind of cool because I was fangirling on authors, and authors were fangirling on me, because like I have read their books, and like to be able to, I was just like a reader fan, because to be able to read their books and to be able then to see them, it was just great. Especially like Bridget Midway, I'd been reading her for years, and then she was there, and it was just really cool. Like it was nice after, you know, going through the pandemic and finally being able to socialize with, you know, people you have read, especially picked up during the pandemic, you know, that got you through, you know, the getaway of the stress of it all, and then be able to meet these people was really cool. So I really like it. I think Kasana Dwight and Denise did an awesome job. They are the coordinators of these events, and I think they did a really awesome job in terms of this whole event of the Interracial Author Expo. They did a really good job keeping us safe, making sure the event was sanitized, and then on top of that, putting the fun back into literary events. I think it was really amazing. If you do write interracial romance, or even if you just write romance, you definitely, or even if you read romance, you definitely should go to this conference next year, because it was just like being in a family reunion of just the readers, the authors you have read, and then just hearing the readers' love for reading. It just made you, you know, this is why I write. That's what it made me feel. This is why I write, to meet people like this. So it was great, and I did love it. And I think I'm answering all of Tan's concerns. But yeah, that was just my concern, was that I wanted to be safe, and I wanted to just be able to sell. And I actually ended up selling all my books. I ended up selling all my books, which I was really happy about. So yeah, that was kind of cool, because I didn't have to take it back home and pay that $30 fee again. And then on top of that, like, I got to just meet a lot of not only new readers but old readers. So that was pretty cool on my part as well. So yeah, it was a great event. And if you are going to be doing live events this year, I think the fact that they made it so easy for you to be in public, and whether you're masked or not, whether you're vaccinated or not, it didn't really matter. They didn't make a big deal about it. Politics didn't get in the way. It was a reading event. I mean, if you felt comfortable taking off your mask, if you didn't feel comfortable taking off your mask, it was really up to you. It was your decision. You know, you're an adult. But no one really made a big deal about it. I know some people did have their mask off and then they'll take it off. They were vaccinated, you know, but it didn't make a big deal about it. And in terms of just being out in public again, it was really fun. It was really fun. And a lot of the event, not only because we were at a hotel, it was like in the hotel, and then she had a lot of, Kasana and Denise had organized a lot of fire pit gatherings as well, which kind of like, if you're going for this, it was a great idea because you were outside. We all could gather outside by the fire and talk, play games, and just be able to, and the readers really got to sit and network with the authors. Like, it was crazy how, like, they just ask you questions about your book and about your writing process. And I mean, they were really into it. They really told you like why they started reading you and things like that. So just seeing that face-to-face kind of communication after so long, I guess, it was really kind of cool. So I liked it. I loved it. For my mind, for my spirit, for my ways of just getting back into the game of it. And then as I am, you know, getting ready to do the Amazon Vela, and if you are doing Amazon Vela, let me see your love or thinking about it. I am going to do that. I actually did a lot of word count, and then I also learned how to really write on my phone. Like, I really got into a rhythm of writing on my phone, because like a lot of times I couldn't take out my tablet, or I have a Kindle. I'm going to show you guys. So I went and turned my Kindle, and I've shown this before, but not in a long time. I went and turned my Kindle into like a laptop. So I got a little keyboard on here, and it's a Bluetooth keyboard. So I take this with me because it fits right into my purse, and I take that with me. But even then, a lot of times you're sitting in spaces where, you know, you just don't want to stretch out and everything, and everybody, since like, even though they have things separated and stuff, except at the Atlanta airport, I'm gonna let you guys know they don't have social distancing anymore. They took the signs off for social distance, so everybody's sitting, you can sit next to each other and stuff. But like, you really, like, we didn't have time, because you're going through the airport and traveling and moving. I could take out my phone faster, so I really learned how to type on my phone. Usually when I'm by myself, I usually like dictate my book to myself, but like, I really learned how to type on my phone. And literally for the whole weekend, I got close to 7,000 to almost 9,000 words done by the time I sat down back at my computer. Once I got home, it was close to 9,000 words, which was really cool, because you are sitting places and you are waiting, but in those times you don't want to just take out a laptop and start working. So just a quick tip, if you guys are traveling, what I did was, if you want to know what I used Google Note. And then because I was in airplane mode, I could use Google Note. And then once I was able to upload, I could email those notes to myself. So they were all in order. And then once I got to like where I could open up my laptop, I could just copy paste all those notes into my document. That's how I worked it, because I tried to do Word, but the program was too large for my phone. The document itself was too large. Maybe if I had started with a new Word document, I probably could have, but it was too large. And then I tried to open up the Google document the story was in, but that was too large because already it had 30,000 words added to it. So it kind of kept jumping around in terms on my phone. So when I used Google Note, though, I was able to get a clean screen and be able to type vertical instead of horizontal. I could type vertical very fast. And I have an Android, so I was able to even swipe my words as I was going to keep up with what I was thinking. So if you are traveling, download Google Notes. It was really cool. And then on top of that, once it gets connected to the internet, it automatically saves that document in your Google Notes. Like, it's an automatic saver. So that was really cool. And it saves the document automatically. I think it does an internal save as well, until you can get to internet. So it was a simple, easy program to use. And I mean, I think you can bold and italicize and things like that, and hypertext and those things. But basically, I was just trying to get, the thoughts out of my head onto paper, and that's what worked for me in terms of traveling. So that's just a quick tip as I tell you about my event. I'm always trying to teach. I think I answered all of Tana's questions. And then if you guys left any comments or anything, because it's not showing me any comments on the screen, I'll answer them then. But I just wanted to do like a quick video about the things that I did and learned. I'm trying to see, I was on an author panel. I'm going to let you know I was on an author panel. The last one of the day, which I usually hate. But this one actually, I was on an author panel about the trends of before and going into the future of authorship. Basically, I can't remember the exact name of the panel, but it was just basically talking about, you know, things that we have, what we came from to where we are, because I was like actually the oldest author published there. So I got to talk about, like, you know, how it first started as indie authors, how, you know, we were vilified for being indie authors, and then how we were treated. And Laverne Thompson and Bridget Midway were on that panel. Those are other authors that's been around a while, and I like that Laverne brought out, because she had been in traditional publishing at that time, and how they would separate the indie authors from the traditional published authors. They still do this at some events. You know I'm looking at you. But they still do this at some events where they separate indie authors from traditional authors. But a lot of times now they don't. And it was really quite memorable remembering those times when, like, they blackballed you for being an author. And new authors, you know, we always talk about the youth today, but these new authors, the new authors that are out, you guys will never really, like, remember those times, or weren't there when they wouldn't let you get a table. Or I was an ebook author, and I would go to paperback events, and then they would literally say I couldn't go. I couldn't set up a table if I didn't have books. I was like, what are you? Because I'm not a real author. And, you know, from coming from that to what we are now, where, you know, we, like I was saying in there, like, we have a lot of power and we don't realize it and we don't utilize it, where we have a lot of control over our readers. We can get to them faster. I want you guys to really think about that. Think about that you have more power than Simon and Schuster at this time. That you can get in touch with your readers. You can get them to buy your books faster. I mean, and then utilize that every day. Think about that every day, that I can get in touch with my readers faster than big publishing companies. And start doing that, and just start building your readership and really owning and having that power. So, but I'm going to get off my thing. And I'm going to get out of here because I want to go pick up this food and then get back home, because I have a 2 o'clock Zoom or Skype or something. I know I do. And I probably look a hot mess. So thank you guys for joining me. If you guys had any questions, please leave them in the comments, because I don't think I can see them. Well, I can't see them. Usually they pop up at the bottom of the screen. And don't forget to, of course, subscribe to themotownwriters.com. And you can always check out my website at sylviahubbard.com. I'm going to thank you guys. I'm going to wave goodbye for right now. And don't forget to join us this second Saturday with Shar. She's going to be talking about anthologies and the importance of being a part of them and marketing with them, and of course a whole bunch of other information, because she's so filled with a lot of information. I do love her. So don't forget to join us the second Saturday at 10 o'clock. I will be promoting that starting this afternoon or this evening and on through the rest. And also, Monique Mensah has a program about gaining followers on social media. So make sure you check that out. I'll be posting more about that this afternoon as well. So don't forget to check out her program as well. It is a great social media. I love the simple tips and tricks that she does offer. So that's really cool. But I will be talking to you guys later. Have a great day and keep writing.